Hello, this is the Monotone Specialist here with another video. Today's video is going to be talking about Tucker Carlson and whether or not AFE is like a problem or spreading hate or doing these things to, I guess, influence people like the shooter did in Buffalo. And bringing this up, I brought this up in my last video where he was getting a lot of heat. He's getting a shit ton of heat. Now he says he didn't know about the great replacement theory, even though he said it uh, a lot of times. I guess they're keeping track. And he said it a lot, like 400 times or some shit. Like I don't know who went back and uh, into his videos to find that out, but here we are. Now, I kind of categorize him with Alex Jones. Like spreading like weird conspiracy theories like that. The water makes the frogs gay. Like, I don't see how anyone can take that guy seriously. I really fucking don't. Like, anyone with half a fucking intelligence or a significant IQ can tell this guy is full of shit. Kind of like with Tucker Carlson, you can kind of tell he's just full of shit, and he's just there to for the ratings. It's kind of like a talking head. Like, he just says whatever they tell him to, and he doesn't give a fuck what he says. Like, I personally don't think he believes in anything he says. Like, he's up there with Alex Jones, where he says, "Yeah, that's like a personality. That's something I just go onto the internet and just say the most craziest shit, and there we go." And people want him silenced, basically. I don't agree if he would be fired, but I wouldn't really care if he was. Like, that'd be kind of a silencing tactic to do. I know, like, if he was fired, that would be silence him in a way. Um, I highly doubt he'd get fired because, like, the views they have is fucking insane. So, be very kind of stupid to fire him just over something like this. Because he's not directly saying do harmful shit. So yeah, like, what can you do? I think a lot of people disagree with what he's saying now. The whole great replacement theory. If you just read into it just a little bit, it just sounds very fucking stupid. Like, I don't understand how a normal person, like, looking into it was going to be like, yeah, like, that's a fucking problem. Like, even if it's like 100% true, like, no one gives a fuck. At least I personally don't, but I can see some people, if you're fucking crazy, to, I guess, fall into this pit. I don't think we have to worry about a whole millions of people. Like, let's say it's just the white supremacists, like, kind of like, I guess, following him. That's only like 10% of the population. People may think it's a lot more, but it's right around like 10% of the population. That's not a whole fucking lot of people. I guess that's a few million, but uh, people think like all his viewers are just this fucking crazy conspiracy loving nut jobs that just listen to him and will do whatever he fucking says or something like that. And he influences violence and he influences these mass shooters. He influences these white supremacists. And there's a lot of finger pointing at this guy, and I just don't know if what he's saying is really dangerous. Even if he is, I don't watch him that often, so he could be peddling this great, replacement theory, and I don't know about it. I only listen to him once in a while because, like, he's too like way white leaning for me to even fucking consider, and to what the fuck he says is even remotely, I guess, tangible to any fucking degree. Like, it's up there with the propaganda. I don't think he's really spreading propaganda, but like him personally, I don't think he's doing it on purpose. Like, he's just perpetuating whatever they fucking wanted him to say, and he personally doesn't believe in it. I could be wrong. I don't know. I can't read his mind, so I don't know if he really believes in this stuff, or he's just peddling in it for the network. That would make more sense. That's why he's not getting fired because they're telling him this should be said. Um, so the only thing that I can really see being done is him being fired because if they fine him or arrest him or try to charge him with something, it's not going to fucking work for one. Because freedom of speech, you can't. He's not going. He's not saying. I know that freedom of speech is only goes so far. You can't say fire in a movie theater. Can't threaten somebody. But he's not saying to commit violence because of these theories. So it'd be hard to, probably impossible to charge him with any crime without overreaching. I guess they could try to, I guess, charge him for something, but it would be it wouldn't go anywhere, and I think that's why nothing has happened with some kind of law enforcement. You just can't say, well, Tucker Carlson is spreading this theory that this shooter did and charge him for something. That's just not how it works. I pray to God no one ever does that unless it's greatly evident that there's 100% proof that he actually personally told him to do it, or he's actually saying harm people or trying to do that. Some may argue he's kind of doing that in a different way. He's not directly saying it, but the even like I don't see how he's even implying it by bringing this shit up. Now people are and news feeds are uh, saying what the Great Replacement Theory is. Like I didn't know what this fuck. I feel like there's some of my feelings here. Like the mainstream media is fucking perpetuating this guy's fucking ideology to more people that probably didn't know what the fuck it was. They're doing exactly what this fucker wants. He wants the attention. He wants his fucking viewpoints spread out to everybody else. Like I didn't fucking never heard of this fucking weird shit until this happened. Now it's all over the fucking news about this great replacement theory. Congratulations, you're fucking spreading his fucking ideologies everywhere. Great job. They should just not say his fucking name, um, the motive, uh, whatever the fuck he is into. Like, just keep that shit out of it. I get people want to know why, but the medium just blows this shit up, makes him infamous, puts out his fucking crazy ideals, and now people know about it. Now people know about his fucking crazy ideals, and they're pointing the finger at Tucker Carlson. Now everyone and their mother fucking who doesn't knew about Tucker Carlson now does. They're spreading that, and they're spreading all these neo-Nazi and white supremacist ideals onto people, or at least they're exposing it. Like this is what people think. This is what people do. This is what white supremacists do. Like no one, like stop that shit. Stop spreading that. You're doing exactly what he wants to. It's so fucking stupid. Like pointing the finger at Tucker Carlson doesn't solve anything. Like even if he's spreading this shit, you can't do anything besides firing him because he's not personally saying hurt people or kill people or um whatever. Like I don't even see how he's doing that second-handedly. Even through his his rhetoric, so supposedly, like this sort of grace of place, like just because he's saying it, or maybe even endorsing it, which I don't see. I guess maybe he is. I don't fucking know. Um, to say it's like he, I just don't fucking get it. Maybe I'm just a fucking boomer. I just don't get how you're gonna point the finger at this guy for this shooting, but if they're in a different, I guess, spectrum, like the New York shooter or the Waukesha murderer, that they're not viewers of a certain news network there. Why isn't that being investigated? Why isn't that being like perpetuated? Like I don't fucking get it. Once the fucking media like latches onto white supremacists, it's blown the fuck up. But if they're linked to any other affiliation, if it's left leaning, even slightly, fucking crickets. I don't think Tucker Carlson is the problem. Now, if he was fired, as I previously said, I wouldn't give a shit. I wouldn't probably agree with it, but that's the only way you would really, quote unquote, silence him. Um, because I don't agree with charging him with anything, if with any kind of crime, because he's not like I guess verbatim saying do something harmful or kill people. I mean, it'd be very hard to say he's like suggesting it or second-handedly saying do this stuff. So as it stands right now, I don't think he's a problem. There's nothing really much people can do because he has a shit ton of ratings. So it'd be very extremely hard to get him fired. And if he just came out and he's like, "Yeah, I'm just like this talking head, and this is not my personal beliefs. This is something that I'm just being told to say," does that really change anything? People want to take responsibility for what happened, but I I don't see how he's at fault at all. Even if he's spreading this his rhetoric and his ideologies onto other people, that doesn't say like he did anything. Like I was like blaming. I can't wrap my head around it. Like how people are blaming Tucker for the shooting when he's not saying to harm people or kill people with this his ideas or his rhetoric or his ideologies. I don't see even how you could argue he's doing it in second hand way, like suggestion kind of a thing. I just don't see it. Maybe it's just me. That's pretty much all to say. I don't think he's a threat. The only thing you're going to be able to do is fire him, and they just replace him with someone who's like way more subtle with it, most likely. Like it'd be very hard to fire him considering all the viewers he brings in, and if they replace him, they'll just do a better job at hiding it. Pretty much. That's what it'll lead to. Thank you for listening. Rate, comment, subscribe.